How you doing, everybody? Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Life channel. It is Tuesday, the 17th day of December, 2019. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Christmas Eve, 1 week from today. 1 week from today. So we're into the home stretch for the holiday season, at least for Christmas anyway. So don't forget, if you're out and about and you're buying presents for those people who you want to buy presents for, and if you're interested in buying me a present, big and expensive. Just remember that rule. Big and expensive. And the bigger and more expensive the present that you get for me, the happier I am. Good stuff for today. Lots going on. Lots in the news. News being well, difficult at times. And that's going to be the case with some news stories that aren't necessarily good. Weather forecast, yeah, we're going to get some snow, especially Thursday. And Thursday night, we got some very interesting graphics. We could get a pretty good dose of snow. Probably not going to stick around very long, because we'll see temperatures in the 40s by the time we get to the weekend. But watch out, we got some white stuff coming our way. They have increased our potential snow total. The National Weather Service did yesterday with the system coming in. They were kind of hedging their bets a little bit, thinking of maybe skiff here and a skiff there. Now they're pretty sure we're going to get some white stuff right here on the Wenatchee Valley and significant snow in the mountain passes. That all-important weather forecast is coming up as the news and the sports. Seahawks had that great victory over Carolina on Sunday, but now I got some bad news from the world of you Seahawk fans there. We'll talk about sports. We also have everything else you're used to, including an opinion from Mike McNaughty, some celebrity birthdays, just one celebrity birthday, but it's a big one today in history, and we have an obscure holiday. It's 2 minutes after the hour. Malcolm pushing the buttons this morning. Feel better, Megan. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless setup. We got the cross camera, looks like working today. I can hear Malcolm pushing the buttons in my earpiece. There we go. A slow dissolve to the cross camera, which is usable today. It wasn't usable yesterday. It was completely fogged over. Couldn't see a darn thing. Much different story here today. On this Tuesday, we have high clouds, some fog, and we're sitting at 27 degrees outside of our studio. Sunrise this morning, not for quite some time, 7:43. Sunset tonight, 4:11. That buys us 8 hours and 28 minutes of daylight. Remember, the shortest day of the year is coming up on Sunday. That's the winter solstice. And then the days will slowly, and I mean slowly, get longer and longer. But that's what we're looking at right now. And pretty quiet, by the way, weather-wise today, tonight, and Wednesday. It's when Wednesday night into Thursday rolls around that things get interesting. Camera 2 is a beautiful view. What a stunning view of, I don't know what I'm looking at. That's probably, I'm thinking either Upper Butte or Bear Mountain, or maybe even Union Valley. I'm told that's Lake Chelan. The thing that you can't see is Lake Chelan. I really don't know what of the camp. Probably could be Union Valley, could be Bear Mountain, could be Upper Butte. I tell you what, if we have enough time, we'll go back to this camera at the end of the day when the sun's up and we can figure out what it is that we're looking at. Off to camera number 3. Now that we can make out. That's the top of McNeil Canyon, if I have the right idea there. So Lake Chelan is way off in the distance. Of course, Lake Chelan is a significantly higher elevation in the Wenatchee Valley, so they're dealing with some thicker fog and some lower hanging clouds because of the temperature because of the elevation. Is higher. You can make out Chelan proper just a little bit. Again, that's from the very top of McNeil Canyon, one of our higher cameras. All of these cameras, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless. And finally, camera number 4. That's the other cross camera. Well, we shouldn't call it the other cross camera. We call that cross east. I mentioned this yesterday during the show. We used this camera yesterday, even though it was a little fogged over. This is also in the Wenatchee Heights area. It is about 400 to 500 yards to the east of the cross camera, and it's also at a slightly lower elevation, so you can see the traffic down below you on the Malaga-Alcoa Highway, and most of that, of course, has the East Wenatchee area plainly in view. So that's what we're looking at. Back to the cross camera we go, and that is our tour around north central Washington. If we have the time before the show is over, we'll take the tour again when the sun's up, and maybe we can see what we're looking at. It's 5 minutes after the hour. From Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, they gave your home a hug. What does the National Weather Service say we're in for? Clouds today. Things are going to be quiet. Not a lot happening, just lots of clouds. We'll top off. They say around 30. We only hit 27 yesterday. Our normal high for this time of the year, right around the freezing mark, right around 32 degrees. So just a couple of degrees below normal. Lots of clouds, no precipitation. We'll have some freezing fog forming tonight. Patchy freezing fog, I should say, not widespread. 24 for the overnight low. Wednesday, about a 30% chance of snow late in the afternoon, less than half an inch. Then things start getting crazy by the middle of the week. Periods of a little bit of light snow Wednesday. Wednesday night, the chance of snow increases. The east slopes of the Cascades are going to get quite a bit of snow by the middle of the week. The pass report is going to be, you're going to look at this and you're going to go, I can't believe they're going to get that much snow, but they are. So this is the timing of the snow event that we are expecting. It's not a big deal, but here in the Wenatchee Valley, chance of snow goes to about 50%. Now, the big thing is they have dramatically increased the amount of snow we are expecting between basically Wednesday night through Friday. We have a slide to show you from the National Weather Service to let you know how much snow we're going to get. Now, the Methow Valley, you're going to get a lot of snow. Wenatchee Valley, as you can see there, that little sliver of blue that kind of slides up into the Wenatchee Valley, that's the unknown. We could get, this is total snow accumulations, remind you, not just a one-time snow event. This is snow totals beginning tomorrow night, lasting through Friday, with the vast majority of the snow expected to come down Thursday and then on Thursday night. So there you go. Look at where you live. The Methow Valley is going to get a lot of snow. As far as the mountain passes, the travel impacts, it is not going to be very pretty, especially Thursday night, and really into Friday. Even Wednesday can be difficult at times. So there is a winter storm system that is heading our way, and we are going to get some snow. Of that, we're pretty confident of it. So nothing really happening today, just clouds. Patchy fog forms at times tonight, 24 for the overnight low. Wednesday afternoon, the chance of a snowflake or two increases. We could get about a half an inch of snow Wednesday afternoon into Wednesday night. Thursday, things get real interesting. Thursday, late afternoon, the snow will start coming down. By Thursday night, it'll be coming down pretty good. By the time Thursday is done, we're looking at anywhere between 1 to 2 to 3 inches of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley. And then on Thursday night, an additional 1 to 2 to maybe even 3 inches of snow on Thursday night, but at times that could be mixing with rain. The snow level Thursday night is going to be right around 2,500 feet. The Wenatchee Valley proper is about 800 feet down here on the valley floor. So the higher up you go, the better chance you have of snow. But it looks pretty good that we're going to have some snow Thursday afternoon into Thursday night, and then it spills into Friday before it switches over to rain on Friday. It's going to switch over to rain on Friday, and we'll see temperatures in the upper 30s by the time we get to Friday afternoon. And Saturday, 60% chance of rain and a high of 40. So yeah, we're going to get some snow Wednesday night, Thursday night into early Friday morning. Then it switches over to rain, and whatever snow we get is probably going to be gone, at least here in the valley floor, gone by Saturday afternoon and Sunday. So that's your forecast. Get ready for some snow. The Friday morning commute could get a little dicey around north central Washington. That's what we're looking at down here. As far as the mountain passes are concerned, let's take you up to the Cascades. Take a look at what we're dealing with on this Tuesday morning. This is the calm before the storm. That's a live shot of I-90, Snoqualmie Pass, where you don't have any real problems at all. Again, the problems are coming. Hold tight on that. No advisories, no restrictions, roadway bare and wet on I-90. Let's take you up to Stevens Pass, US 2. They have a traction tire advisory. You'll find some compact snow, slush, and ice on the roadway. Traction tires are advised, although Stevens doesn't look too bad right now. Blue is looking good. Roadway is pretty much bare and wet. A couple of patches of frost and ice here and there, right close to the summit. Outside of that, no advisories, no restrictions. So right now, Stevens Pass is the only one that has an advisory posted. It's up and running right now. Not a lot going on really in the mountain passes today from a weather standpoint. No real snow today, no real snow tonight. Maybe a half an inch here, half an inch there. Wednesday, things get interesting. A couple of inches of snow Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday night for the Cascades, anywhere between 3 to 7 inches of snow possible on Wednesday night. I would not be surprised at all if a winter weather watch is issued by the National Weather Service for the Cascades. They haven't done that yet. I think that's just a matter of time. So 3 to 7 inches of snow Wednesday night. Are you ready for this? 8 to 12 inches of snow in the Cascades on Thursday. 12 to 18 inches of snow in the Cascades Thursday night into Friday. 10 to 16 inches of snow in the Cascades on Friday. These are just, it's just going to get hammered. The passes are just going to get hammered. 3 to 7 inches Wednesday night. 8 to 12 inches of new snow Thursday, an additional 12 to 18 inches of snow Thursday night, an additional 10 to 16 inches of snow on Friday. Heavy snow possible Friday night, spilling into Saturday. You were warned. It's 10 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your Tuesday morning news. There's a lot of Tuesday morning news to get to. And you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Live this morning from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Winter is here, and CVCH wants to give your child a free sled to help them stay active. This January, plan to join us for a free event for the whole family. Free sleds, hot chocolate, and fun. For complete details, visit the CVCH Facebook page or check us out at cvchchillout.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Grandstrom with the NCW Life channel.
And I'm Brent Rhodes with Country 104.7 KKRV.
It's that time of year again.
The third annual Les Schwab Community Toy Drive.
Christmas will be here before you know it, and a lot of kids in our valley will go without if we don't help.
You can help by stopping at Hooked on Toys and picking up a gift tag off the tree.
Buy the gift and drop it there or any of our sponsor locations.
Thank you for helping kids in our valley have a Merry Christmas.
With the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive.
High clouds and fog, 27 degrees, a pretty quiet and benign day today weather-wise, and tonight by Wednesday afternoon, a little bit of snow. Wednesday night, a little bit of snow. Quite a bit of measurable snow expected on Thursday. Then it switches over to a rain-snow mix Thursday night into Friday, and at 12 minutes after the hour, here's what's making news on this Tuesday. One person was killed and 5 others were injured last night after a semi and a van collided at the intersection of Highway 28 and White Trail Road. This was about 5 miles west of Quincy. The Washington State Patrol reports the accident occurred around 6 o'clock under icy conditions. The person killed was believed to be a passenger in the van. Another of the injured passengers in the van was flown to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. Highway 28 was reopened at about 10 o'clock last night. The names of the deceased and the injured parties have not been released. The cause of the crash is under investigation. We'll have more on this, the news tonight at 5 o'clock. Well, a dementia patient who went missing from her Leavenworth home on Sunday night was found Monday morning alive, but suffering from exposure. Marlene Marlin, 85 years old, walked away from her home on East Leavenworth Road sometime after 10:30 on Sunday night. At 9 yesterday morning, rescue workers located her trapped in the crawl space of an unoccupied home nearby. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies said after Marlin entered the crawl space, the door apparently closed behind her and she could not work her way out. She was taken to Central Washington Hospital for treatment. A Wenatchee caregiver is accused of misusing her disabled client's bank account to the tune of more than $3,000. Douglas County prosecutors charged Martha Antuez Sanchez, 33 years old, with 6 counts of identity theft for allegedly withdrawing $3,300 from a bank account held by her East Wenatchee client after she obtained his debit card and PIN number. Investigators say Sanchez used the card over the past year to make unauthorized ATM withdrawals and online rent payments. She must make her first court appearance on December 30th. Well, the couple suspected in a Cooley City campsite robbery that injured one man and sparked a month-long manhunt. They've now been both formally arraigned on charges. Kai Shelton appeared in Douglas County Superior Court yesterday morning on counts of second-degree robbery, theft, assault, and reckless endangerment. He and his partner, Becca Ray Rosenberg, are accused of stealing portable generators from a campsite on Banks Lake on September 27th at a robbery that turned violent. Rosenberg's 4 children were in the van they used as a getaway vehicle. Both were arrested last month near Moxie. They remain held at the Okanagan County Jail. The children are in foster care. 8th District U.S. Representative Kim Schreier announced Friday that she will vote in favor of impeaching President Donald Trump. The House is scheduled to vote Wednesday on 2 impeachment articles. Schreier, a Democrat, spoke Sunday on National Public Radio explaining the reasoning behind her vote.
Look, the deciding factor for me has to do with setting a precedent for all future administrations, that it is not okay for a president to put his own personal interests above the interests of the country. It is not okay to abuse power for success in an election, and it is absolutely not okay to obstruct Congress. That We need a balance of powers, and if you take that away, we lose our democracy.
Meanwhile, 4th District House Representative Dan Newhouse said he is unlikely to vote in favor of impeachment. He called the hearings politically motivated. Newhouse told Tri-Cities TV station KEPR on Saturday that unless there is some new evidence that comes out, he will vote against impeachment. The impeachment is likely to pass the democratically controlled House of Representatives, but unlikely to be, President Trump is likely to be acquitted by the Republican-controlled Senate. Chelan County PUD Commissioner Dennis Bowles was honored with the Lifetime Achievement Award this month from the Washington PUD Association. Bowles has served in several roles, by the way, in the statewide association, including president of the association. He's been a commissioner with the Chelan County Public Utility District since 2006. Because he was scheduled for a surgical procedure, Bowles taped his acceptance speech, which aired at the association's annual meeting in Vancouver.
But when President Randy Smith called to let me know that I had received this recognition, I was truly speechless. I mean, I was without words. I think maybe the first time genuinely in my life that had occurred, but thank God it didn't last long. I'd first like to thank my fellow commissioners for the opportunity that they provided in putting together this award and recognition, working with our staff to be able to put things together, clean me up, and make me look presentable to the public. So again, thanks to my fellow commissioners. I'd like to say that this evening's presentation that I'm making is a continued commitment to the purposes of the state association, to the purposes of public power, public water, public utilities in general, including wastewater and telecommunications. It's really important that we understand that we serve the public. They own the organization that we serve, and grateful to be able to do so. So it's not about you, it's not about me, it's about us and the service that we provide. It's a stewardship of public trust. It's about principled leadership. It's about who you serve, not who you.
Congratulations to my good friend, Dennis Bowles. And finally, on this Tuesday, the jury that acquitted a Chumstick man who confronted railroad workers with assault rifles said even though he's not guilty, he's not entitled to have his court costs reimbursed. Jurors found James Carl Brown not guilty of assault and unlawful imprisonment. This was on Friday after a 4-day Chelan County trial. Now, under Washington's Stand Your Ground law, he could have collected lost legal fees and expenses if a majority of the jury ruled that his use of force was lawful. Now, although they acquitted Brown of the criminal charges, the jurors said he did not prove he acted lawfully. Brown, a Marine veteran and National Guard member, fired the assault rifle into the ground in October of 2018 while warning a four-man Burlington Northern Santa Fe crew not to trespass on Chumstick Highway property where he lived. He claimed he acted in self-defense, and that's what's making headlines at 19 minutes after the hour. Don't forget the news tonight with Grant Olson in the anchor chair, also handling the weather forecast. He's going to be a busy guy today, keeping track of the storm that's going to come in and give us some storms, give us some snow on Wednesday night and Thursday. So Grant with the news and the weather, Eric Granstrom at the sports desk, and you can check out the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. And if there's something out there that you think demands our attention, get a hold of us. We make it as easy for you as possible. You can go to our website at ncwlife.com, ncwlife.com. Click on the Contact Us icon and fill out the form. You can go to our Facebook page and drop us a message there, or you can email us, news@ncwlife.com. 19 minutes after the hour, Josh Gordon, Seahawks. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Being able to support yourself and your family is an important part of who we are. We all need to know we're able to provide ourselves with a secure future. Some job seekers have a harder time finding work. That's why Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is here, a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to help people find work. When you shop at or donate to Goodwill, you're really being a job creator, and that's a good thing for everyone's future. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
The Wenatchee Valley Mall is all dressed up and ready for the holidays. In the center of the mall, Santa Claus is waiting for you to tell him all your Christmas wishes. Santa's schedule is posted online. And you can join him for breakfast at Taco Shava. Remember, kids, to enter the coloring contest for great prizes. There are so many places to shop for your holiday treasures, all in one location, your Wenatchee Valley Mall.
We're back at about 21 minutes after the hour in sports. Seahawks wide receiver Josh Gordon suspended indefinitely by the NFL for violating the league's substance abuse policy. This is the release on the Seahawks PR Twitter account. Came in yesterday afternoon, quoting an NFL spokesman. Josh Gordon of the Seattle Seahawks has been suspended indefinitely without pay for violating the NFL's policies on performance-enhancing substances and substances of abuse. End quote. This is the 5th time Gordon has been suspended by the league. Coach Pete Carroll visibly shaken by the news when he met with reporters at his Monday afternoon press conference.
You know, our heart goes out to Josh having to face this again, and the fact that you know, he's up against it and all his it poses a great challenge to him. Unfortunately, he'll have the benefit of all of the league's resources to support him and to help him, and we'll wish him the very best in, you know, taking care of business, and it's very unfortunate, you know.
Did you see any signs that he had realized or that things were going on?
No, we saw Josh really at a really high level the whole time he was here. The work ethic he brought was one, but his getting along with people and being good to work with and to talk to and all that and to deal with on a regular basis, he was great. And so we were not aware, you know, that there was anything to be concerned about other than, you know, the history and which we knew about.
How does that work now? Can he be at the facility at all?
No, he won't be part of the program. He'll be on his own with the support of the league and his personal support and all the things that they do. But he will not be able to be part of the, you know, our workings here.
You alluded to it, but how tenuous the situation? He's in a new environment, already moved, and now he's on his own again, away from the team. And for him,
yeah, I feel for him in that regard, you know, because he was in a really close-knit group here and fit in and did really well. You know, Josh has been through this before, unfortunately, and I know just from talking with him and the time he was with us that he does understand where the help comes from and the support that's out there, and he does utilize the resources that the league offer, and so just wish him the best and hope he can do well.
Now, while playing for the Seahawks, Gordon caught 7 passes for 139 yards, the longest that 58-yard spectacular fingertip grab in Sunday's win over the Carolina Panthers. So Seattle secured a playoff spot, of course, with that victory on Sunday, and they got some help from Atlanta to move into the #1 spot in the NFC. Pete Carroll said the team gathered around a laptop on the plane home to find out what exactly was going on.
There was a total mesh of bodies leaning in trying to see it, and everybody's yelling at him not move, don't even flinch, because you got, you know, he's got this unique Wi-Fi that nobody else had. We don't know how that worked, and then they scored, and then they took it away, which was, the place went nuts, and then they took it away, and it was pretty crazy. And about then the plane started to, like, they started revving up. It's about time to go, and so. Then they have the 4th down play, and they rule it, he didn't score, you know. And everybody, oh, you know, so, and then they showed the stop action shot of the ball, looked like it was across the goal line, and the plane starts moving and the Wi-Fi freezes. And all we had was that pick, we had that pick that was stayed on his laptop. And that was it. We didn't know what happened, you know. So we actually got going, and I think it actually was Brad Idzik's app that he passed. He said, "Hey, they scored," and Steve Shimko grabs the phone and goes crazy. "Hey, they scored!" You know, they overruled it and all that. So it was a blast.
Seahawks, of course, have 2 games left. They're both at home. They got the Arizona Cardinals this Sunday, and they wrap up the regular season with the 49ers a week from Sunday. The Moses Lake School District is using an independent third party to investigate accusations of racial slurs being used towards Davis players during a basketball game in Moses Lake on Saturday night. According to several social media posts by parents and fans from Davis High School, students and team members from Davis were called the N-word. The team has reportedly provided a police escort to their school bus in order to leave the school property. In a release from the district, the superintendent of the Moses Lake School District, Dr. Joshua Meeks, states, and I'm quoting, "We are deeply troubled by these claims and reports, but we are doing everything we can to get to the bottom of this quickly. I have received over 20 reports of what transpired at the athletic event. These will be given to our investigator." Moses Lake is a very diverse school system where over 53% of our students are non-white. A culture of hate is in no way acceptable, and if these reports are validated, corrective actions will occur. We have not heard the last of this. All right, let's go to the prep schedule for tonight. We'll start out girls bowling. Eastmont has a say in the Battle of First and Big Nine. They'll host Eisenhower today at Eastmont Lanes. Wenatchee also has a home match today, and they'll be watching closely down the alley to follow the Wildcats and the Cadets. Both of these matches get underway at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. In Moses Lake, the Chiefs will host Sela at 3:30. Girls basketball tonight, Chelan plays at Cascade at 5:45. Ephrata hosts a non-league game against College Place at 6 o'clock. Only 2 games on tap in boys basketball tonight. Cascade hosts Chelan at 7:30. Antioch travels to the Plateau to take on Waterville Mansfield at 7:30. And in the only wrestling match around the region tonight, Moses Lake will host Eastmont at 7 o'clock. Quick look at what we have on tap this week on the NCAA Life Channel broadcast sports schedule. It begins tonight. We got girls basketball, Wenatchee and Davis from last January. It continues Thursday night. Hockey night as the Wild host Langley. We'll have that for you at 7 on Thursday. On Friday, we got Sunnyside and Wenatchee boys basketball from last January 25th. We'll have that for you at 7 o'clock. Saturday afternoon's feature is the Sunnyside Wenatchee girls game from last January. And then at 7, it's Eastmont and Wenatchee girls basketball from the Town Toyota Center as broadcast last January. Again, we'll be airing live sports right back here after the first of the year. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Thursday. It's 27 minutes after the hour. Today's obscure holiday. Get the flapjacks ready or the waffles. It's National Maple Syrup Day today. Biscuits, French toast, pancakes, top it off with a little butter, and the real deal, maple syrup, the real maple syrup. About 80% of the world's supply of maple syrup, by the way, now comes from Canada. We used to lead the world in maple syrup production. We're no longer number one. It takes roughly 40 gallons of sap to make 1 gallon of maple syrup. And you know how they have like oil reserves? We have a strategic oil reserve. Believe it or not, in Canada, they have a tightly kept, high secure stockpile of maple syrup, and they dip into it and they distribute maple syrup in years when they don't have a very good crop of maple syrup. And 7 years ago, in 2012, a bunch of crooks got into the primary warehouse where the maple syrup is stored in Canada and stole 6 million pounds of maple syrup. And they're selling it on the black market. Maple Syrup Day. It goes good on almost everything, but again, the real deal. It's expensive, no doubt about it, but nothing beats real maple syrup, a breakfast table staple. Let's do Today in History on this 17th day of December. Thank you very much, our good friends, the French. Yeah, during the American Revolution on this date, December 17th, 1777, 242 years ago today, the French said, "What's this, America? You're fighting Britain? We're in." Now, their motives weren't exactly pure. The French aren't exactly pure, but that's not the point. Of course, France had just lost the 7 Years' War to Great Britain, so they weren't real happy with Great Britain to begin with. These two countries never really cared for each other, and they thought, hey, if the Americans want to fight our arch enemy, the British, and weaken them, we're all for it. So America, we are going to formally recognize you as the United States of America. France was the very first country to ever do that. So say what you will about the French, but they were the first country in the world to formally recognize the United States as an independent country, and it happened on this date 242 years ago. Thanks, France. This is the 116th anniversary of the Wright brothers. They make their very first controlled, powered, heavier-than-air flight when they took off the Wright Flyer at Kitty Hawk in North Carolina. They flew. Yeah, today is the anniversary of flight. By the way, what happened to the original Wright Flyer? Of course, it's at the Smithsonian. They almost just tore it apart. After the whole thing was over, it got damaged a little bit during the flight in North Carolina. They shipped the whole thing back to the Wright Brothers factory in Ohio, in Dayton, Ohio, and they were just sat in a warehouse for about 15 years. There was a flood, the Great Dayton Flood of March of 1913, covered the airplane with mud and debris and water for over a week. And finally, in early 1912, Wilbur said, what are we going to do with this thing? Why don't we just burn it or rip it up? And somebody, we don't know who, somebody talked Wilbur Wright out of doing that. They said, you should probably keep it around just for historical purposes. And so they did, probably glad that they did. The Wright brothers flew on this date 116 years ago today. By the way, they never did find their luggage. I understand it ended up in Phoenix. This is the anniversary of the very first NFL championship game, the precursor, if you will, to the Super Bowl. The very first NFL championship game was played at Wrigley Field between the Giants and the Bears. The Bears won 23-20. This was the very first year that the NFL divided themselves up into two different divisions, and the winner of each division would play one game for the championship. And the very first one happened on this date 86 years ago today at Wrigley Field in Chicago, which was the home of the Bears at the time. The gate receipts, $21,100. The Bears won. Each player on the Bears got $210, and the Giants players made about $140 each. Happy birthday to The Simpsons. 30 years ago today, December 17th, 1989, the very first half-hour full installment of The Simpsons aired. It premiered on television, the episode Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire. That is the actual advertisement from the New York Times from 30 years ago today. So The Simpsons celebrates their... Simpsons, of course, existed before. They were short cartoons on the Tracy Ullman Show, but the very first Simpsons, as we know them today, aired 30 years ago today. So far, 672 Simpsons episodes have aired. It holds any number of American television longevity records, and it has been renewed for 2 more seasons, at which point there will be over 700 Simpsons episodes, but it all began on this date back in 1989. One birthday for you. He was born Jorge Mario Bergoglio. You know him as Pope Francis. Pope Francis is 83 years old today. Of course, he is the very first Jesuit pope. He is the first pope from the Americas, the first pope ever from the Southern Hemisphere, the first pope born outside of Europe since the 8th century. And you know what his official title is? His official title, stay with me here, is His Holiness Francis, Bishop of Rome, Vicar of Jesus Christ, successor of the Prince of the Apostles, Supreme Pontiff of the Universal Church, Primate of Italy, Archbishop and Metropolitan of the Roman Province, Sovereign of the Vatican City State, and Servant of the Servants of God. That's his official title. We're going to call him the Pope, and he's 83 years old today. And it's 33 minutes after the hour. Happy birthday to His Holiness. Campbell's Resort, destination deal. It's happening. It's going on. If you're a local, all you got to do is prove you're a local. That can't be too hard to do. Give Campbell's a call. Say, hey, I live in North Central Washington. I want to spend maybe a weekend or a couple of days up there at Lake Chelan, get away from the crowds, chill out, eat some great food, drink some great wine, and just get away from it all. Campbell's is going to make it easy for you. If you're a local, if you live in the North Central Washington area, you can get a room for the month of December at Campbell's Resort starting at $95 a night. That is a deal. Take advantage while the getting is good. And finally, of course, we want to mention about our Les Schwab Community Toy Drive. We're down to just the final few days. Those are the people who are going to benefit. They get the toys. Cashmere Cares, Sir Wenatchee Valley Children's Home Society, Casa Sage, and the Bruce Transitional Housing and the Women's Resource Center. They get the toys, but we need the toys. So you're out and about, buy a new unwrapped gift. If you don't know what to get, you can go to Hooked on Toys. They have a tree right there with all kinds of Christmas ideas. Buy a new unwrapped toy, drop it off at any of our sponsor locations, and the good volunteers who make this whole thing happen will make sure that the kids get the presents. Every kid in North Central Washington should have multiple brand new presents, brand new toys underneath the Christmas tree 1 week from tomorrow. But we need you to get the job done. We appreciate it. 35 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. Mike McKnighty's got an opinion. And then Steve Hare has a brand new feature, our special news correspondent. It's called In Focus. And Steve will occasionally sit down with the movers and the shakers and the newsmakers of North Central Washington. And last week, Steve sat down with the Chelan County Fire District #1 Chief, Brian Brett. And Steve's conversation with Brian Brett will come your way in just a couple of minutes. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Local breweries are on a roll in Wenatchee. Brewers Row, that is. Start with Wenatchee Valley Brewing Company near Riverside 9 Apartments. Continue south down Riverside Drive to Columbia Valley Brewing. Then it's off to Badger Mountain Brewing on the corner of Orondo and Columbia Streets. Further south on Columbia is 509 Beer Works. Each has its own charm, unique menu, and some of the best locally made brew around. Find it all on Brewers Row along the waterfront in downtown Wenatchee.
When the time comes to propose, when you want to celebrate a birthday or an anniversary, when you want to mark a special milestone in someone's life, Clark's Jewelry has been providing quality jewelry at a fair price since 1977. Diamonds, gemstones, watches, necklaces, earrings, rings. Their professional staff will take the time and care to help you find the perfect piece of jewelry. Clark's Jewelry, always quality jewelry at a fair price.
Let Fitterers Furniture help you turn your dreams into reality with their exciting selection of quality furnishing and accessories. Whatever style you are looking for, you will find beautifully crafted furniture of exceptional value and the unmatched Fitterers customer service to make this shopping experience one you will keep coming back to. Make a point of visiting Fitterers Furniture in downtown Ellensburg.
Quality selection and service since 1896.
Exercise gets everybody to be the best version of themselves they can be. And that's what I see us doing. And a lot of people see gyms as selling memberships. We see ourselves as helping our members become exercise practitioners so that their life is better, their day-to-day is better. That's what we do.
At Harvest Valley Pest Control, we know you are committed to making your home and business a healthy and pest-free place. Hi, I'm David. Give us a call and we'll give you a firm price over the phone and schedule a time that works for you. We will do an in-depth 30-point healthy home or business inspection and craft a customized plan of action designed specifically for your pest issue. Give us a call or visit our website today.
Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, recently, our state legislature did something very worthwhile. Hooray! You know, they passed a bill that ended the statute of limitations against sex crimes against children. Now, somebody who suffers from child sexual assault bears those scars for years. And a vast majority of the time, the abuser is someone with authority, which makes it difficult for the abused child to reconcile, which is often why disclosure in these cases may not come for many years after the crime occurs. Now, those who abuse children should face the possibility of disclosure and prosecution for as long as it takes the victim to appropriately deal with what's happened to them. Good work, Washington lawmakers. Good work for this. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
I'm Daisy Baltz. I'm Director of Housekeeping here at Colonial Vista, Prestige Senior Living now. I enjoy what I do. I'm happy here, so I just stay. And that's one of the things that they're so well known for, is their quality of care, trying to meet every resident's needs. Residents are my number one. If they're happy, then I'm happy. I can tell that. They smile, they laugh. Happy residents, happy life.
Call today for your tour.
People are really skeptical of our industry. They have been sold products, they have been sold policies they either don't need, don't understand, confusing. I understand that. We are more about the process and the people. Our SFG roadmap is designed to take care of all of those concerns. For those that have questions about their retirement, we would love the opportunity to sit down and chat with you.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee believes a clean home is a happy home. Mary Maids provides holiday cleaning services to cheer about. Don't let the seasonal cleaning ruin the festive fun. Mary Maids can simplify your life at a great value. It's never too soon to start planning a holiday perfect home. Mary Maids of Wenatchee happily offers a worry-free guarantee. Locally owned and operated, let Mary Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Call Mary Maids today.
I'd like to welcome you to In Focus here on NCW Life. I'm Steve Hare, and our guest today is Chief Brian Brett with the Chelan County Fire District 1. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Steve.
Brian, I know that it's been, relatively speaking, a fairly quiet wildfire season.
It's fantastic.
Why don't you give us a little recap of how it went for you guys this year?
It went very slow, which was really nice. We were hoping we would have a nice slow wildland season with everything we have going on. Generally in the summers, we're so busy, not only locally, but regionally and statewide, deploying our crews and assisting our neighbors and going out on state mobilizations, et cetera, that it's a real busy logistically for us, even if a fire's not right here in our backyard.
Well, I can tell you right now that given the West Coast trend towards more large wildfires in California, Oregon, and such, I guess your crews find themselves on the lines in multiple states.
Yes, we do. We were just dispatched to California recently, but we were canceled en route.
So it's quite a situation, I know, for fire crews now. It seems like it's a different dynamic now than it has been in the past.
It certainly seems to be the case, yes.
Yeah. So let's talk about the wildfire season again. At the start of it, Chelan County 1 has decided to use goats as a fire prevention tool, and I know that you employed the goats to remove some vegetation out on the north end. How did that go for you?
It went fantastic. It was super well received by the neighborhood. The neighbors enjoyed going out and congregating and watching the goats work. The goats are super efficient, great social interaction. It helped bring the Firewise community of Broadview together, and it was just overall a great success. We did overgraze them a little bit in some areas, but we were learning as we went, and John Riley and Hillary Hurd just reseeded the area a week or two ago to mitigate that.
I see. So I guess it's natural to think that you can use these methods of treating areas that are prone to wildfires. Why have we not thought of this before?
The goats have been utilized elsewhere,
Yeah.
and we got the idea from Hillary Hurd, who was with the Department of Natural Resources, who is now with us. She had experience using them down in California in flood mitigation zones. And we were like, well, why not bring them into Broadview? That topography is really steep and thick vegetation. We couldn't use mechanized machinery. We have 3 wildland seasonal employees, and the labor was way too intensive for them to make any progress. But the goats just knocked it down.
What do you see as the future for the use of goats?
We intend to identify areas we can use them again throughout the area. We'll use labor for fuel reduction, goats, mechanized equipment, whatever it takes. We want to create a fire protection line of some sort around the wildland urban interface of the fire district. And if goats are the right tool, we want to use the goats.
Do you have any locations where you want to use the goats this next spring?
Currently, we're looking at the Jennings area. It's a fire-wise community, pretty heavily dense sagebrush along there. As we look at the western perimeter of the city limits of Wenatchee, where the actual wildland urban interface line impacts the structures, is the areas we're looking at currently.
Okay. From a fire-wise standpoint, you're doing what you can, I know, with the use of the goats and other methods of making those urban interface areas more fire resistant. But I was going to ask, how satisfied are you that the homeowners and property owners are doing their part in those same areas to make their homes fire safe?
We've been receiving really good feedback and working with the homeowners. Our wildland liaison, John Riley, and his crew are targeting the whole community. We have about 19,200 structures in the city limits that are in the Embercast zone, and we have delineated a new primary zone with the city recently. For example, Western Street down to Cherry across Lambert, down Horse Lake, etc. That's the primary zone. Our focus going into mitigation and resiliency is going to focus into that primary zone with FEMA grants, roof replacements, defensible space, home ignition zone principles, and matching funds with FEMA, in addition to us doing fuel reduction with goats or mechanized equipment.
Did the Sleepy Hollow fire change your planning efforts going forward?
The Sleepy Hollow fire just really engaged everyone, I believe. From when I look back to the Castle Rock fire, that was the first large...
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, that was the first large conflagration that I was part of as suppression. And my memory post-Castle Rock fire is I don't remember us taking any post-event measures to help prevent it from occurring again in the future. Whereas with the Broadview fire, it really spurred everybody, brought everyone together, and we need to make our community as resilient as possible, and not just Broadview, throughout the whole fire district.
Understand. We're talking with Brian Brett, Chief of Chelan County Fire District 1. A lot of new construction that's going on in the district, and future plans that are quite ambitious as well as it pertains, of course, to the city and, of course, the wildland interface, too.
Yes,
new fire station going in?
New fire station building, it's coming out of the ground right now, right there at the old Prospector Pies location.
On Wenatchee Avenue?
On Wenatchee Avenue. The basement, the footings are in, the apparatus bay footings are going in. It is going to be a daylight basement and 2 stories. Administration on the first floor, training room and meeting room on the basement, daylight basement level, and the crew quarters on the top.
Real nice. Quite an advance from where you are now.
Yes, it'll be very nice. We are relocating one of the poles, so we'll still have a working fire pole.
Oh,
it's
good.
Still the best way to travel down from the 2nd story.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Also, a lot of new facilities that you also have in Chelan County Fire District 1 in the Malaga area, and of course in the city as well. A lot of moving around.
A lot of moving around. We vacated the Maple Street Fire Station. That was sold to the school district, and we were occupying it until July when the sale closed. Once we vacated the Maple Street Fire Station, we moved our staff into the 5th and Western Fire Station. However, prior to being able to move the staff in, we had to completely renovate that fire station, and it really needed it. It's in a key strategic place for us in the city. Great response times, good location, well received in the neighborhood. We invested about $210,000 into a remodel at the beginning of this year. It's turned out very well, and we're happy to be in that spot.
In the 5th Street?
5th Street, yes.
5th Street. And also you have new construction down in the Malaga area too.
New construction in Malaga, that was the Squilchuck Fire Station.
Yes.
Squilchuck Fire Station finished, when we finished that up in the end of 18, I believe it was finally all completed. That's a nice 4,700 square foot satellite facility. The fire district was able to get a community development block grant to fund half of the cost of that station. And once we build the new station downtown, we will staff that station as well. Currently, that Squealchuck Fire Station has 4 other fire stations responding into that zone.
I see.
So it doesn't make sense for us to staff it yet until we vacate the old downtown fire station and move to North Wenatchee Avenue.
Gotcha. I also know that Chelan County Fire District 1 serves as a host for Chelan County Emergency Management. Those operations are kind of changing with this new reconfiguration, aren't they?
It did. Emergency Management was leasing the 5th and Western Fire Station for, I believe, 20 years. And due to us having to relocate ourselves, we relocated them out to Fire Station 11, which is the Easy Street Sunny Slope Fire Station. Out back behind that fire station, we have a double-wide modular home. We're leasing that to them for office space.
Okay.
However, I've heard that they may be getting a new facility in 2021, and we would like for them to relocate to their new facility because we aspire to have another helicopter module operate out of the Sunny Slope Fire Station, and that modular structure is a great host site for the helicopter module.
I do know that the county, the sheriff has been working with the college, I believe, in establishing an emergency operations center there at the new Wells Hall.
Yes, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe that's where
they're
emergency
moving.
management is going to be staffing their offices.
Okay.
So we're planning for them to vacate in 2021.
I understand there are some new plans for helicopter, firefighting helicopter too going forward.
Yes, we have a great partnership with the DNR, and we've historically operated the helicopter out of the Sunny Slope Fire Station. However, we have a hangar and facilities in Malaga. It's a little bit easier spot to take off and land from, more of a conducive facility to be the primary helicopter operating spot. So we relocated that helicopter program out there, which still frees up the Sunny Slope site. And we had an airframe fuselage and a ton of inventory that we loaded up and hauled over to Northwest Helicopters in Tumwater because we aspire to build the second helicopter. We potentially have half of the cost to build this helicopter in inventory, and hopefully we can get it spooled up by wildland season and potentially enter into another contract with the DNR to supplement their fleet or be on a call when needed program.
What would that mean to your district to have 2 helicopters?
Well, it would be fantastic. We're a little bit selfish in the interests here. It's a great partnership with the DNR, which makes this possible for us, but it selfishly gives us air assets right here in our backyard. When they get dispatched, those guys are out in the helicopter getting ready to take off within 5 minutes. I believe they're off the ground in less than 10. And with the fuels and topography we have around our fire district, getting that air support immediately on these fires is critical need for us.
That makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yes. And if we had another one out here, whenever they deployed one, we would still have one right here in our backyard versus waiting for Ellensburg, Yakima, Omak, or the next closest one.
Okay. I'd like to shift to a different topic. I know that you've been involved in, several investigations on structure fires here in the city of Wenatchee. I think we've had 3 in the past year. Understand that we've had a resolution and the end of an investigation into 2 of those.
Yes, we did. There's a program called the Arson Alarm Foundation, which is funded by the Northwest Insurance Council. And every year they fund this pot of award money up for $10,000. And you nominate people who help provide information on the cause of a fire. And if the information's valuable, you nominate them. And the foundation determines how much of a monetary award they receive. We recently just nominated somebody for helping us, and were able to deliver them a $750 check for the information they gave us that helped with the investigation.
What kind of information was shared?
It was witness statements. It's the 4 big factors we look at in determining the origin and cause of the fire are witness statements, fire patterns, fire dynamics, and arc mapping the electrical system.
Now, which are the 2 fires we're talking about here?
The 2 fires, well, there was 3, 2.
There's one on South Wenatchee Avenue there near the bridge.
Yes. So 2 we would still like people to come forward with information on are the one behind Gray's Electric at Mar and Columbia Street. Somebody saw something, we would like them to come forward
That
and
was
tell
the
us.
unoccupied structure behind Gray's Electric here. Yeah.
Yes. The other one was the pallet, the stack of polystyrene out by Dalco towards the avenue. Somebody saw something there, and we would nominate them for award money if they were to help us with some information.
Okay, so the reward recipient this time was involved in which investigation?
This one was on South Mission Street.
Okay. That's the South Mission residence then that was a derelict unoccupied home?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Obviously, it's something you'd like to see residents get more involved in. Obviously, these are confidential, anonymous tips that you're receiving from these people, right? And you maintain that confidentiality.
Yes, we can publicly acknowledge them or keep it completely anonymous, up to the recipient on how they feel about the attention and receiving the award.
Okay, very good. Well, I want to thank you for joining us here. Also want to wish you happy holidays as we get into the Christmas season. I know folks are always being advised to be careful with fire, candles, and other ornaments that are electrified and can cause fires.
Yes, keep your Christmas trees watered, shut the lights off at night, and keep the candles away from them.
There you have it. Thanks a lot for joining us, Brian.
You bet. Thanks so
Chief
much.
Brian Brett, Chelan County Fire District 1, joining us today on NCW Life on In Focus. I'm Steve Hare.
And we are back. In Focus, by the way, is available for you to watch on demand by going to our website at ncwlife.com. I'm Dan Kuntz. Let's do your all-important weather forecast one more time, because we got some interesting stuff going on, folks, from our friends at Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Now, tonight, most of Wednesday, really not a lot to talk about. Cloudy, foggy, kind of a repeat of what we had yesterday. Maybe a little bit warmer. We only hit 27 on Monday. We'll be around 30, they tell us, for the afternoon high later on today. Patchy freezing fog forms in some locations tonight. Overnight low of around 24. Wednesday, slight chance of some light snow late Wednesday afternoon. As you see there, about a 30% chance of snow. Chance of snow goes up Wednesday night to 50%, but we're talking maybe a half an inch tops Wednesday night. Now, by the time we get to Thursday, the snow level is going to be about 900 feet, and we could get some measurable snow Thursday and Thursday night. In fact, we have a graphic from the National Weather Service to show you the snow totals Wednesday night through Friday. So first of all, there's where your midweek snow events are going to happen via your timeline and the impacts on traveling around the area. But they have upped the ante, if you don't mind my poker analogy, with how much snow we are expecting. When this whole thing is said and done, all the way through Friday afternoon, here in the Wenatchee Valley, we could get all the way to 6 inches of snow. That's the maximum. Now, again, this is not a one-time snow thing. This is total snow accumulations from Wednesday night through Friday, with most of the snow expected on Thursday. Most of the snow expected on Thursday. And then Thursday night, the snow level is going to go up, and it could switch over to a rain-snow mix Thursday night into Friday. By the time we get to Friday, probably whatever precipitation we're going to get is going to come down in the form of rain, because we're going to warm up on Friday. We'll be up in the, as you see there, up about 35 or 36. So again, best chance of snow actually coming down Wednesday night, especially Thursday morning, and then it could switch over to a rain-snow mix late Thursday night into Friday. Friday, whatever we're going to get is probably going to be in the form of rain. We could even see more rain on Friday night on into Saturday. When's the sun coming back? Not till Monday. So the sun is going to take some extended vacation time. Real quickly on the mountain passes. This is very important. Again, quiet today, quiet tonight. These are live shots of I-90. The only advisory we have right now, the last time I checked, was Stevens Pass, and they do have a traction tire advisory on Stevens Pass. No advisories, no restrictions on I-90, nor on Blewett. But check it out. A couple of inches of snow on Wednesday. Wednesday night, 3 to 7 inches of snow in the mountain passes. Thursday, 8 to 12 inches of snow in the mountain passes. Thursday night, 12 to 18 inches of snow in the mountain passes. Friday, 10 to 16 inches of snow in the mountain passes. Heavy snow into Friday night and into Saturday as well. So traveling in the Cascades and in many places around north central Washington is going to get quite treacherous beginning Wednesday night for the Wenatchee Valley. Worst driving conditions, probably your Thursday morning commute, maybe even your Friday morning commute. But the passes starting Wednesday night are going to get hammered with snow. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.